Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this beautiful occasion, I will explain about the phonology material. That is word stress, sentence stress, and intonation. But before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Mufidatul Rafiko. You can call me Fiko. I'm from E class. Now I will begin the explanation about the word stress. It is important to stress the correct syllables in each word. This is called word stress, which means pronouncing one syllable of a multisyllable word with greater emphasis or stress than the other syllables in the word. So, word stress is verbal emphasis placed on one syllable of a word. This occurs in every English word that has more than one syllable. Yes, first, we gonna talk about the nature of stress. According to English Phonetic and Phonology by Peter Roach, all stressed syllables are recognized as stress because they are more prominent than unstressed syllable. So, what makes syllable more prominent? Well, prominence is produced by four main factors. The first is loudness, the second is length, the third is pitch, and the last is quality. The first is loudness. Stressed syllables are louder than unstressed syllables. And the second is the length of syllable. If one syllable is longer than the other, there is quite a strong tendency to hear it as stressed. And the third is the pitch of the syllable. Pitch in speech is related to the frequency of vibration of the vocal cord and to the musical notion of low and high pitched notes. And the last or the fourth is quality. The syllable will tend to be more prominent if it contains a vowel that is different in quality from neighboring vowels. Word stress also has level which is called the level of stress. Still from the same research, there are three levels of stress words in English. The first is primary level. Occurs when the stress always falls clearly in the last syllable and the first syllable is weak. For the example, around. And the second is secondary level, a type of stress that is weaker than primary stress, but stronger than that of the first syllable of around. For example, in the first syllable of photographic and anthropology. And the third is The third level can be called as unstressed, regarded as being the absence of any recognizable amount of prominence. Now I want to talk about the rule of word stress. One word has only one stress. We can only stress vowels, not consonant. A word can only have one stress if in very long word you can have secondary stress, but it is always a much smaller stresses. And the second is only vowels are stressed, not consonant. For example, stress the first syllable of most two syllables noun. For the example, climate, knowledge, and most two syllables adjective. For the example, spaces. And the next is stress the last syllable of most two syllable verbs. For the example, decide, decide. And the next is stress the second two last syllable of words that end in ik. For the example, geographic, aesthetic, and words ending in shin and shin. For the example, extension and retribution, retribution, extension and retribution. And next is stress the third from the last syllable of words that end in C, T, P, and E. For the example, democracy, democracy, uncertainty, 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 geography, geography, and radiology, radiology, and words that end in all, all, all. For the example, exceptional, critical, critical. Okay, that's all about the word stress. Now I wanna going to explain about the sentence stress. Sentence stress is the music of spoken English, like the word stress. Sentence stress can help you to understand spoken English. Sentence stress is what gives English its rhythm or beat. You remember that word stress is accent on one syllable within a word. But if sentence stress is accent on certain words within a sentence, most sentences have two basic types of words. The first one is content words. Content words are the key words of a sentence. They are the important words that carry the meaning or sense. And the next is structure words. Structure words are not very important words. They are small, simple words that make the sentence correct grammatically. They give the sentence its correct form, its structure. And for the addition, content words are stressed and structure words are unstressed. No, sometimes we can stress a word that would normally be only a structure word to correct information. And if you remove the structure word from a sentence, you will probably still understand the sentence. But if you remove the content words from a sentence, you will not understand the sentence. The sentence has no sense or meaning. Unlike word stress, which tends to be fixed, prominence can vary quite frequently depending on the intention of the speaker. For the example, I go to the cinema next Friday. Me, not John. I'll go to the cinema next Friday, not go to the theater. I'll go to the cinema next Friday, not this Friday. And the last is I'll go to the cinema next Friday, not next Thursday. From this example, we know that the stress can be used in the different part of sentence. And the next example is she bought a new car. Probably has main stress on car and secondary stress on book. So we can say she bought a new car. Yes, that's all about the sentence stress. Now I want to talk about intonation. As we know that intonation is about how say things, or we can say it is the way the voice rises and falls when speaking. Linguistics distinguish some types of English intonation. The first one is falling intonation, and the second one is rising intonation. Okay, now I will explain one by one. The first is falling intonation. In the falling intonation, the pitch of the voice falls at the end of the sentence. It is the most common intonation pattern in English and usually found in statement, command, question, information question text, and exclamation. For the example, in statement, I am going for a walk in the park. In count, what's your name here? In we have question or requesting information. What country do you come from? And in question text, he thinks he's so handsome, doesn't he? And the last is in acclamation. Acclamation. What a beautiful voice. While and next is the rising intonation. In the rising intonation, the pitch of the voice rise at the end of a sentence. It is normally used in yes or no question and question texts that are real questions. For the example, in question text for real question, You like fish, don't you? And the next is in yes or yes no question. Do you know about the new incident in Malang? And sometimes we use a combination of rising and falling intonation in the same sentence. The combination is called rise, fall, or fall, rise intonation. Rise, fall. Rise, fall intonation is using for choices, list, unfinished talk, and conditional sentence. For the example, choice. Is your name Ava or Eva? In the list, and if in the list is the sentence, the stress is rising, 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 and falling. For the example, we have got apple, pears, banana, and orange. And the next is unfinished talk or partial statement. Do you like my new handbag? Well, the letter is nice, but I don't like it. And the next is conditional sentence. The tone rises in the first clause and falls gradually in the second clause. For the example, if if he calls, ask him to leave a message. And the next is fall rise intonation. The voice falls and rise usually within one word. The first one is hesitation or reluctance. You didn't see him on Monday? I don't quite remember. And the next is polytense, dumb, uncertainty. You are not sure what the answer might be. For the example, should we copy the list? Okay, that's all for my explanation. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.